Hey kids. So I wanted to make some videos for you. In the event I'm not around forever, I want to give you some advice that you might find useful at some point in your life when you're more receptive to hearing this kind of advice. And I figured I may as well start with why I had kids and what it feels like to have kids, at least from my perspective. So it's like fashionable now or trendy at this moment in time. Maybe it'll change in a year. To not have kids. At least I'm seeing a lot more like almost celebratory takes on not having kids. And just as trendy seems to be these um, almost like self-lamenting parents that are saying, "Yeah, I love my kids," almost like a consolation prize. But the rest of my life got way worse, and um, I just wanted to let you guys know that's not at all how I feel, and I can't imagine feeling that way. Now, I suppose that this could be taken as like a rationalization of, well, now that I have kids, so I gotta feel happy with them because I don't have a choice. But it doesn't feel like that at all, at all. Um, I always knew that I wanted kids the whole time I was growing up. It just when I thought about adulthood, this picture of adulthood, that picture of adulthood for me was this moment in time right now of raising you guys through your formative years, through your, early, elementary years, through your teenage years, and now you're 6 and 9. And like, this is my picture of adulthood. And I not only could I not imagine it any other way, because I suppose you could say that in any reality, but I genuinely like where I'm at with my life and with you. So when I want to talk about some of the things that happened the day you were born. All right, so there are two of you, but when the first one came along, um, it was a surreal experience. The only word that you could describe it as is indescribable. And now I can go on to try to describe it, but it'll just never work. So the moment you're born, I immediately stopped being fearful of my own mortality. Like my own death, not that I ever thought about it that much. It just like a non-event. It was like almost like an immediate biological change the second you came into the world. The biological change of like, I no longer fear for my own life. That is, it's secondary completely. It didn't feel like I was conceding my life. It just was, that was the natural feeling that suddenly became appropriate. Didn't have to tell myself or convince myself that now this is the new that was natural. That was exactly how it's like it was always supposed to feel. Another weird thing happened too. This is probably something that maybe this is just something a dad deals with. But before I had my own kids, I had this picture in my mind of what a baby looked like. But it never felt like my baby. And that was always something that I was somewhat like apprehensive about having, like, as we were getting in the 7th, 8th, 9th month of pregnancy, I was kind of apprehensive that, like, dang, is this baby going to feel like mine? Is it going to look like mine? Like, what does mine even look like? It was like I didn't know what to think my baby would look like, because I had seen a million babies in my life up to that point. They were always somebody else's. Never once did I interact with another child and be like, this is what my baby's going to look like. Never once. And so when we were getting toward the end of the pregnancy, it felt like, what's my daughter or my son going to look like? And I didn't know what to think. And just as natural as conceiving my own mortality felt. The moment you came into the world, the image of a baby, like if you had told me what's the mental image of a baby pre my own child's birth and post my own child's birth, completely changed. And I don't even remember what my old image of a baby was. The moment you were born, it was apparent. It was obvious that this is what a baby looks like. This is what my baby looks like. All babies look like this. I don't even remember another image. The image of you completely replaced any other preconceived image of a baby that I ever had. And that was just crazy. Like, I couldn't recall it. It's like there's a hardwired image now in my mind of what a baby looks like, and it's you. And then I think about what it's done to my life. Just like, okay, that's the day of, right? You know, the sort of the afterglow of birth. And now I just feel like it's getting better every day. Like, you're 6 and 9 now, so we've been parents now for 9 years, and I don't think it's ever been better than it is right now. And I'm pretty confident that it's going to be even better in a year. I would describe it as creating a new best friend that gets to be with you all the time. Wherever you are when in your life, when you watch this, who is your best friend right now? Imagine that best friend, and your relationship is even better than what you've got now. And that person gets to be with you all the time. That's how I feel with you guys. There's not a day that I feel overwhelmed by being a parent. I'm not even like trying to just rationalize the fact that I have to live with 2 kids and take care of 2 kids. It just feels right. And I couldn't, not only can I not imagine any other way, I try to be objective about my life right now and my life before kids. And I try to think objectively, which one was I happier in? And it's like, objectively, I'm happier. Not just with my relationship with you guys, but my relationship with work, because now I feel like I have a much greater purpose. My relationship with mom, because it used to be so self-centered. It was just between the two. And now me and mom have a way of, you could say, not a requirement, because that feels like we're, beholden to that. But we have this natural inclination to partner up in raising you guys. And that brings us closer together. We get to share the joy. You know how many times in a day, me and mom probably either send each other pictures or videos of you guys, or you guys do something cute, or just look cute, and me and mom will look at each other. Those are all sparks of our own relationship, and we're just happy that we were able to create something like that, create that magic in our lives. And so it's brought us closer together. It may have brought certain parts of our relationship further apart, but it adds a depth to our relationship that just was never there before. And then as you get older, you start to become more and more your own people. And I just feel like lucky, like truly lucky, blessed, favored, that I can be part of your life. Like, you just started using phones a little bit. and you just started learning that you can message me with your iPod to my phone, and whenever I get a message from you, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they found the time for me. Like that's exactly how I feel. I feel lucky that you found the time for me. Almost like in high school when like a girl would send you like a message or leave you a note or something, and it's like a girl you like. It's like, wow, I feel really special. That's kind of how I feel when you guys send me a message or make something for me, or write me something. It's like anytime you do something for me, even though I'm only one of a handful of people really in your life, I just feel like, wow, I can't believe they made time for me. It just, and I get to feel that feeling over and over every single day. And I just am so glad that I became a parent. And I not only could not imagine any other reality, I truly believe that this is the greatest event and purpose and depth of being that somebody can have. It feels like a complete fulfillment of life. And if somebody that doesn't have kids, and I could try to hypothetically say, if I didn't have kids, how would I answer the question of like, what's my greatest accomplishment? Like deathbed at the pearly gates, what would I say is my greatest accomplishment? I would have a really, really hard time answering that if I didn't have you guys. But now that I have you guys, that answer is so clear. And I can't think of any single thing that I could do. I could be president of the United States, could get $1 billion, could start a huge company. I don't think any one of those things would have a greater impact as just being your dad.